trying to disseminate that information.
And through yes, yeah, that's it's really no, it's good. I'm wondering if I come back and pick up on another thing where you said that. All right, so we have this new kind of touch with a consciousness, which is giving information about a consciousness that's not normally in people's cognition. Extremely important information. Now, at that time, that contact with Seth became firm. About when now would you say? When would that have been? Would it have been 60?
I'd say early in 1964.
Right. But it would have been just about.
It began late in '63.
Just about a decade ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just we've been working with it ever since.
Yeah. And then and you were not able. Then you had a certain, probably I would assume, a certain sense of personal, and I use the word very advisedly, unease, or at least wonderment, and not quite know, which has probably been becoming less and less characteristic of your attitude toward this phenomenon than it was originally. So you've becoming more confident with this than through the time.
I'd say, I guess, that we felt as if, again, because we knew so little, that we were explorers, and we were going to be very careful about exploring something we didn't understand, but we were going to do it.
Right. Very good. Beautiful. Yeah. And then I guess maybe the thing, if you don't, and that you were doing this, and then as you began to then extend out, there weren't very many other people that you were able to get in contact with, or that were able to give you a sense of positive appreciation or understanding that there were similar or situations that they were familiar with that would give credence in their own experience to that which you are.
When after it began, I went out and got a few books, and I wrote to a few people. Some of them authors of these books. And the replies we got didn't satisfy us at all. And we quickly learned that we had a chance here in a creative way to make a contribution, and at the same time learn on our own as we went along. So all of these factors intrigued us no end, because they were based on the strengths of our personalities, especially Jane's ability with words. And so we knew that it was obvious that her writing ability was a valuable asset here. And my working with images as an artist, that came in handy in all kinds of ways also.
And then you have taken responsibility for transcribing or taking the message that and handling that with.
We tried several different methods.
That's very important that be done.
Extremely important.
I still take down Seth's material by hand.
I see.
In our own sessions, in class, recorders are used, and Seth speaks in a different way. But we get a more concise and I think a more inclusive approach in our own material, which comes out in the books. It's different than it is in class.
Than you do in class. Why do you think that is?
Well, in class he relates to people.
There might be, say, 25 or 30 people, all with their own approaches, questions and things. It's bound to be different than just two people working by themselves.
Yeah, I guess. I hadn't.
In a regular session, it's a dictation, and that's it.
Now, I wonder if that is a negative in feedback that's coming from other people, or a lack of.
No, we just think it's differences in.
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm talking about. I don't experience that as you do, but I'm wondering why that is that you have greater difficulty having Seth come through in a situation where there are other people around. I wonder. I don't know.
No, that wasn't what Robbie meant.
No,
that's not what you
it comes through differently.
I just meant it was different. I just meant it was different in class than it is when we're here alone.
When you're just by yourself.
In a private session.
Do you think? Go ahead, sorry.
He is to the point. When he comes through, he says good evening or something, then he says dictation, and he just goes ahead and dictates a book. I would say to Robbie, are your fingers tired, do you want a break, or whatever. In class, he very rarely goes into that kind of a long monologue, which for us might last over an hour. Instead, he'll relate to people, or he'll come through because of a comment someone asks. And what Rob meant was it was different in his reading.
It's a way of being. I see.
The one is just to accumulate material for the book.
Which do you like the best?
Well, I'm a little bit prejudiced in favor of participating myself, but I've learned over the years that other people are really interested, and each person's interest is just as legitimate as the next. Mm-hmm. And so we've learned a lot from that. We didn't anticipate any such response from others at all.
Do you think
in the beginning?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you think the quality of the responses, or the appreciation or understanding? You must have had some responses where people say that's, you go all the way from just incredulous ignorance, that would be a response, to one of understanding, and then one who could fully, get close to fully understanding it as you do, the significance of it. Has the quality of the response, or the appreciation of the importance of it, been increasing, do you think, through time?
I think so, yeah.
In the last
but we never had, experiences that were distasteful.
Oh, good.
But we were aware of that.
Yeah, there was a possibility.
When we first began to read up, we discovered that there was such a wide variety of practitioners in the field that it was almost a ready-made thing for that sort of...
and I'm wondering, have there been experiences similar to this historically that people have had that have been,
I would say,
negatively tainted in the mythologies that we've been forced to live with, in the
I'd say that's
general
probably
ignorance of that new consciousness?
I couldn't.
So that new consciousness or contact with it has, in very many instances, why it's extremely valuable. And in this case, you don't use the word guide. I would tend to think well, you don't use it, but I myself would tend to think that what you're doing is a sort of a guiding. It's important in that sense.
Right. We hope it works out.
But while it's very important, and they've very often been seen as people who were, demonic or possessed, or all these kinds of prejudices that were.
We began to become aware of that with our reading.
Or even, I'm wondering if I could say that you used the word previously, where you said you became aware of occult literature. Occult has been associated. Now I'm coming, let's say, I'm coming from academic, scientific community. The scientific community would deal with matters such as this, and they would say this is mysticism. This is not good, objective, hard Western reality. And the scientific community then would not be able to, or the intellectual, scientifically trained community that's trained in, to be very skeptical, would not have been able to until now. Some of the, so people. So I'm wondering now they're doing things like Carillion photography. Where new perceptions that have been by certain people who were gifted are becoming objectively, scientifically validatable. So that mix between. So what I'm saying is that maybe that this is a particularly auspicious time for the coming together of a lot of different perceptions. But well, anyway, I'm not sure what I'm saying. Except I would think that the reception for the readiness of the people, generally conscious to receive it, would be increasing. I mean, I should think that.
Well, you see, we think that that's no accident.
Okay.
And that's part of the whole mystique that Jane. These are taking some large leaps here. And I'll ask people to go along with it. But we think that we even chose to be born at this time, so that in this particular way, this information could start to be given out.
Beautiful. This is important information. This is a curriculum for a world that's wondering about a new consciousness within a certain temporal framework.
That's it. And
there is a major new relationship to universal mind that the whole of the human family is coming to at this particular time. This information is in touch with that and is extremely important.
We hope so.
It is. It is.